Sounds good. Do it.
All right, you guys, you are now tuned in to episode 2 of the Transformation Motivation. I am your host, Fit Emmett. This weekend I probably did really bad, so right now I'm feeling like Fat Emmett. But you know, we make progress, right? Every day is a journey. Every day we're working. All right, so we're going live with a man right now, Cal Latham, and he's on Instagram. Found him on Instagram. Super inspirational story. Vanity Bear is his name on Instagram, right, Kyle?
Yes, sir. The Vanity Bear.
The Vanity Bear. The Vanity Bear.
The Vanity Bear.
Yeah, you gotta see the beard. He's killing the beard right now, guys. All right, so check out his story. Super inspirational. You know, and we're gonna get an insider's viewpoint outlook on this whole process called transformation, how he did it, his process, his journey, strategies, tips, rituals, kind of what he does every day, and maybe get a little motivation from his specific story. All right, so we're going to do a quick little introduction. All right, I'm here with Kyle. Kyle, what's up?
Hey, man. How's it going?
Great, great. So, Kyle, give me a little introduction. Who is Kyle Latham? Who are you, my friend?
Well, now I'm a guy that can do anything he puts his mind to.
Okay.
Before, I was a guy that was just filled with excuses and reasons of why everything was always an excuse for me. It was always somebody else's fault that I was the way I was, or that something in my life was happening. And it took a while, but I finally realized that I had control over all of that. So.
Cool.
That's who I
am. So no excuses from a man, Kyle, right now. Tell us a little bit about your background, you know, where you grew up, education, your occupation, what do you do, and who's Kyle Latham on a daily basis? What do you involve yourself in?
I grew up in a super small town in Oklahoma. Like, I graduated with 6 people.
Wow.
We had to drive 25 miles to the closest gas station. So really like farm living, but I moved to Amarillo when I kind of got out on my own. Amarillo is the closest big town to us, and I had never really had any type of a workout or a fitness or nutrition background. Like, I didn't know what was right to eat. I thought that fat was the culprit. If I could just, I don't know, I didn't realize how damaging sugar was to my diet. Like, there's a lot that I've learned over the last 2.5 years, but starting out, that guy, it's crazy to talk about who I was, because he's a completely different person. Like, I'm not that person anymore, and I don't know how to explain the difference.
It's crazy because you even see it in the pictures. Like the picture before, it's like you're in your mood, your expression, just in your face. Like, you can see the guy you were, and then like in the after pictures, it's like, wow, you know?
I didn't realize how unhappy I was. Like, and I always faked happy to like kind of shield from my weight and shield from how big I was. I was always the guy that was making a joke before anybody else could. Like, and usually it was a fat joke. It was like, if even sitting on a chair, if the chair was squeaky, I'd have to like automatically make the joke before anybody else could. So, and that was super damaging too, because people think, oh no, he's just confident with himself. No, people don't realize how damaging that kind of action is towards yourself. Mm-hmm. If you're constantly putting yourself down and telling yourself that you're fat and that you're this loser, or that you're the guy that can't, or you're just the fat friend, you'll continue to be the fat friend, because you really are how you shape your universe in your mind. So
absolutely. So it sounds like it's like how what you sell yourself on about yourself every single day, like positive self-talk and how you talk to yourself about yourself.
Oh, for sure. Mindset's everything. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I have to train myself daily. Like, it's gonna be, I know, a struggle for my whole life, but there are days that I wake up and get down on myself, and I'm like, oh man, I can't do this. And when I catch myself saying I can't do this, I'm like, that's how you got where you were. So I have to snap myself out of it. But it really is, if you can start building yourself up in your mind and find that spark that, because everybody has that desire to make that change. Else we wouldn't have things like New Year's resolutions, and people like the fitness industry wouldn't be what it is. But if you can find that spark and figure out how to fuel that, whatever it is, like whether it's finding a support group online, whether it's having a workout buddy, whether it's getting ready for an upcoming reunion, it doesn't matter. Find that spark and figure out how to fuel that fire, and you won't be able to put it out. Like, it'll just continue to burn and burn and burn, and you'll get to your goals.
It's like I tell my clients, you got to find the why, like your spark. Like, what's that switch? Like, you get it's like a lot of my clients depend on me for motivation. Motivation is so internal because you talk to yourself every day, and unless you find that switch to flip inside, it will never happen for you. Like, I have people that show up every single day to the workouts with that spark in there that they hadn't flipped the switch yet. They're just going through the motions, but until they flip the switch is when they'll actually see like start to feel the change, then see the change.
See, and that's a lot of people don't understand that either, is that motivation can be fleeting, but if you can harness that motivation at first and start to build good habits, then it's that determination that you've built. Like, from that point on, like, the motivation kind of morphs into just, I don't know, it's just your lifestyle, it's your way of life. I mean, you still get motivated to do the things because you're seeing different types of progress and different results, and maybe, I mean, you're getting muscle gains or whatever you're trying to go for. Like, but that just helps fuel that. But a lot of people have to realize too that, yeah, we don't all feel super motivated, but we also have the discipline to know that we have to find that motivation again.
Yeah, it's like the choice. It's like you always have a choice. Like, in every instance, you have a choice. So when you write down your goals are going to tell you what choice to make, basically. So if you're not doing what's in line with your goals, you're always going to falter, because if your goals say, my goal is to lose body fat percentage, then that's going to tell you what choice to make. If your goal is to lose body fat, eating a whole cake or a whole pizza is not in line with those goals or what you quote unquote value. So yeah, absolutely. Tell us about nutrition for you. Tell us about where you started, where you're at now with nutrition. A lot of people find this topic fuzzy. There's a lot of people that I've done interviews with, and they're like, nutrition, I want to know what to do specifically. And I know it's different for everyone, but where did you start and where are you now?
Where I started, like when I first started this journey, I learned how bad sugar was. So we completely cleaned everything out of the house that had sugar in it. And I restricted myself to a diet of no added or processed sugars at all. So I only ate natural sugars from fruits and vegetables, and still limited myself to about 30 grams a day.
Wow, 30 grams.
Yeah.
You limited yourself. Do you guys hear that? He limited himself to 30 grams. Now keep in mind, there's about 30 grams in one large banana.
And there's about
like 30 grams of sugar in
Coca-Cola. So that's, well, in fruit and vegetables, I would factor out the sugars based with the fiber as well.
Okay.
But I was drinking like 8 sodas a day. Like, I know it's insane.
8 times 20 is what?
Isn't that insane? Like, I can't believe, even looking back, that I was putting that amount of sugar in my body. But I mean, not just sugar, just all the empty calories, everything that, I was the poster child for what you shouldn't be doing to your body. But now, like, the thing I found that's easiest, that helps keep me set up for success, is on the weekends we meal prep. So we meal prep our meals for the entire week. And I do this with my husband. He helps me do meal prep. But at first I was following a diet that got my body into ketosis, to where I was just actively burning my fat reserves when I would do my morning fasted cardio. And I was doing intermittent fasting as well, only eating in like an 8-hour window.
Now, were you doing these two just together, ketosis and the intermittent fasting?
Yeah, I was. I got my body into ketosis, and then I would go every morning and do my morning fasted cardio, and then wouldn't eat my meal until like 11:30 or 12.
Now, when would you do your cardio?
When I'd get up and go at like 8:30 or 9.
Gotcha.
So about 30 to 45 minutes, sometimes an hour after that, then I'd have my first meal, so my body wasn't going catabolic.
Yeah. All right, you're throwing around a lot of terms. There's going to be some people.
Oh, sorry.
No.
So my body wouldn't eat itself, basically.
Gotcha. Now, ketosis. Give me an idea for the people that don't know what ketosis is.
Well, so I've changed my nutrition, so I have to pull back up and look how I got, because I actually got into ketosis on accident. A lot of the things that I did, I didn't even realize what I was doing at the time, but I restricted carbs, I restricted sugars, I had a good amount of healthy fats and protein intake, so my body wasn't eating on its protein reserves. But I found personally, like, it was really good for fat loss. But it was really hard to gain muscle. So that I've changed that in the last 4.5, 5 months.
Gotcha.
It's still a struggle because I'm still trying to figure out my numbers, because it's making me gain body fat back as I gain muscle.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's the constant struggle that I'm in right now, is trying to find that balance of me wanting to build muscle, but the battle of the bulge as well.
I hear you. You want to build muscle but not bulk up.
Yeah, exactly.
So give me an idea of one day, like you said your meal prep. Give me an idea of what you're kind of meal prepping. Your grocery list. Give me the grocery list for anyone that wants to do some shopping with you. And so what does one day worth of eating look like for you?
One day's worth of eating. Well, for our meal prep on the weekends, we go to Costco and just buy a couple of big bags. Like, we buy a big bag of broccoli, Brussels sprouts, sometimes cauliflower or bell peppers, and then we'll just chop all of them up and actually put them on the grill with a little bit of olive oil and sea salt, and then just grill them until they're grilled up. It's the fastest way I've found that I can make food in bulk like that. And then either just a protein source, whether it's chicken or turkey burgers or some type of a lean protein source, and just cook that all up and then portion it out into at least one meal a day. Sometimes we make enough to where we have 2 pre-portioned meals a day. But I'll wake up in the morning, drink like a 20-ounce glass of water. I make coffee. Coffee's my vice. I know a lot of people are like, you should stick away from coffee, but I have to have it. So I drink coffee and my protein shake in the morning. And I'll eat a handful of nuts mid-afternoon, and sometimes a banana or an apple. And then for lunch, I'll have the whatever meal prep we've prepared. It's usually chicken about the size of my palm, and then Brussels, like as much vegetables as I can fit in the container, honestly. But broccoli is our main go-to. Broccoli, Brussels sprouts. A lot of people don't like Brussels sprouts, but they're really good for you.
They are.
If you can figure out how to cook them correctly, they're really good. There's a couple ways that, like, I don't like them steamed at all.
Oh, I love that bag of steamed. I can eat them straight out of the bag.
See, my go-to is definitely the grilled, but if I have to eat them steamed, I'll eat them steamed. But yeah, we try to give ourselves some variety in it too, because if you're prepping the same thing every week over and over, you're going to get burnt out. So I definitely suggest, like, I was making sweet potatoes for a while for my complex carb. I've tried to restrict carbs out a little bit more because I'm finding I'm more carb sensitive. But I'm still trying to have the complex carbs in my diet so I can build this muscle.
Gotcha. So we've lost the weight. Now we're on the building the muscle plan. So appreciate that with the nutrition. Let's talk about like daily rituals. Is there any like daily habits that you think you've embraced over the years that have helped you to stay motivated? Like, give me some daily things that you can do. Like you mentioned drinking water first thing in the morning. That's one of them. Is morning workouts, is that like a staple for you?
Well, it was until like I got my new job now. Now I do my workouts on my lunch break. I'm actually fortunate enough to work at a place that gives us an extra 40 minutes so we can actually go work out.
Wow.
Yeah, so we get an hour and 40 minutes so we can actually just go knock our workout out during our lunch so we don't have to worry about it at the beginning or the end of the day. So that's awesome. I know a lot of people don't have that luxury. Mm-hmm. So I would suggest if they can make it in their routine. I was most successful when I did my workout first thing in the morning because it just set my entire day up for success. Like on the days that I didn't work out in the morning, or I would tell myself I'd do it in the afternoon, I would try to talk myself out of it the entire day. And also my food.
They say it's best to do it in the morning because before you can think about or tell yourself on why not to.
Well, that's the thing I found too. Like with my mind, like if I know I need to do something, I just jump into action to do it. Because the longer you think about it, like time is your enemy in those situations, and you will figure out a way to talk yourself out of it. So morning workouts definitely, because then it also helps you justify your food choices too. Like you make better food choices throughout the day when you've worked out because you're like, I already put in this work. I might as well just keep it going good, have a good eating day. But if you don't work out, I've found for myself, it was always the opposite. Like if I didn't work out in the morning, I'd kind of slack throughout the day and just try to talk myself out of it. It's just the human condition, I guess.
Now, when I like some of the rituals that I've heard some of my guests and other people talk about were like waking up in the morning and stretching and breathing and like you said, drinking water. Do you have any like meditation things that you do or anything like that?
I do wake up and stretch and have a little bit of a stretching routine in the mornings. Okay. It's because I still have a twisted spine from my accident 2.5 years ago.
Ooh. So
we're still working on that. Like that's why I want people to, I guess, hear my story too, is because I still have a 30-degree curve in my spine from that accident.
Ouch.
That I'm still dealing with every day. And if I'm still getting in the gym and doing this every single day with this pain, every single person out there that wants to make a change can make it. Like,
so give me a little backstory about that, because that was one of the next questions was challenges. Like, what challenges that you faced along this journey? So talk to us about that.
That's definitely probably the biggest challenge. When I got to my biggest, this all started because, I was already like 330 pounds and had an accident where I had a double blowout of my knee. And I twisted my back and herniated 3 discs, fractured a vertebrae. It was a pretty bad deal. And I was bedridden for 4 months. So in that 4 months, I gained like 90 something pounds. I was over 400 pounds.
Wow.
And then come to find out, like they didn't find the injury in my spine at first. So the muscle memory and everything kind of set in and kept it crooked. So I've been dealing with that, but I opted for no surgery because they were going to fuse 2 separate sections and it would have completely limited my mobility for the rest of my life. And they said that I would have had to go back and get more fusions in the future, like every 5 to 7 years. So basically my spine after like a 20-30 year period would just be a completely fused spine. Yeah. So I decided I would just fight through the pain and actually get it to where I could fix it myself. I'm to where I'm being able to use the Smith machine now to actually do squats. Like that's only been within the last month, but it's getting there. I'm I'm starting to see a lot of good progress. I'm working with a really good chiropractor too, and yeah, he's making all the difference.
Gotcha. So yeah, anyone with back pain out there or any physical limitations, like don't use that as an excuse. Still get going, because my man Kyle has been dealing with it along his journey the whole entire time and making great progress and having great success with his with his workouts and everything. Next thing I wanted to talk about was I want to get into a couple of fun things because we've got 30 minutes, so we're running a little short on time here. So a couple of fun things. Give me the type of music you listen to, the type of stuff that keeps you motivated. I'm always the type that I like to build a good playlist and something that'll keep me amped up and hyped up. Give me some music, man.
One of my go-tos is my girl Lady Gaga. I love me some Gaga. I've actually found with my workout playlist, like I have it built up. It's around 100 songs, but it's songs that are from my past that always have super good high energy memories connected to them. Mm-hmm. So I found that when I listen to those in my workout, it actually brings those good feelings back and helps me like get more amped up in my workout as well. But gotcha. It's usually
everything, all albums.
Say that again.
All of Lady Gaga, like just have it on.
Not all of Gaga. Some of her stuff is slow, but like I'm looking like Britney Spears' Work Bitch. Like I'm
yeah, I like that. That's it.
Wasted by Tiesto. Let's see what else I've got on here that's good. Like Lose My Breath by Destiny's Child. Like I really like my dance music for working out. I don't know. I have some Big Sean on here. I can't say the name of it. Like here's some Kanye. Like it's really eclectic as I go through. Like I have some.
Kanye workout song on there.
Oh, Sia songs are always so motivational. So
SIA, right?
Yeah. So Sia has some really good workout songs too. But just stuff that makes you feel good. Things that make you feel like you're a better person than you are, like that get you amped up and motivated and make you feel like you're a star, honestly.
All right. So YouTube videos or anything like that, do you watch those?
Right now I don't have a lot of time to, but like one of my go-to guys, Obese to Beast, he's one of the guys that I found like when I first started that showed me, oh yeah, this really is possible. Like, and he's actually become a good friend. His name's John. He's a really great guy. I don't know if y'all have looked him up, but you should check him out.
Yeah, definitely will check him out. Obese to Beast. He's on YouTube. Is that it? Is he on YouTube?
He's on YouTube and Instagram.
Okay, YouTube and Instagram. Obese to Beast. We'll definitely look him up. Any books that you're reading currently, doesn't have to be motivational or whatever. This is transformation motivation. So anything that will motivate the people, any books that you're currently reading or have read that you would recommend?
Nothing off the top of my head right now. When I usually just listen to Audible, but I can't think of anything off the top.
I'm with you. I'm an Audible guy.
I'm in my car so much. Like my commute to work is about an hour and a half each way. So I know our traffic here is a lot of fun.
Yeah. And you're where? Where about you at?
You're in Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. Okay. Let's see. Last question. Last one. And then we'll get all your information. So if people want to contact you or get in touch with you, or if you got anything going on that you want to let people know about, we'll get all that. But the last question is, if you had it to do all over again, what would you tell the old Kyle? Like, what would you do differently about the process? Now that you're smarter and sexier and stronger, yeah. So what would you do, Kyle? Or would you do differently?
I would figure out how to stop doubting myself so much. Like, because even through the start of my process, like, I mean, I still doubt myself a little bit, but I figured out how to change that with my mindset. But I think that that was the biggest obstacle for me, is that as a larger person, you just kind of develop this mentality that you're not as good as, or that other people are more capable or better than you. And if I could make him break that cycle a lot sooner, that would be my biggest piece of advice, is to just freaking believe in yourself. Like, I know it sounds cliche, but it really is. Like, that's what has changed my universe, is my mindset.
Gotcha. So mindset is just huge.
It is. It translated into every part of my life. Like, when I started telling myself that I could do this and that I was going to be successful, not if, not when. Like, I made it to where it wasn't even an option.
Yeah.
Just when I achieve this goal, I'm going to, like, I made it a statement. It wasn't even a question.
Got it. So cool deal, man. Yeah. You know what, Kyle? I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for being on the show today, man. I appreciate your time and your insight, your input, all the jewels that you could bring and drop some knowledge, man. Great content, great content. We're going to end this thing with just how do people get in touch with you? What are you doing? I see that you do some speaking and things of that nature. Like, how will people get in contact with you, and what you got going on?
The best way to reach me is through my Instagram. I have my contact button on there that has my email address, but it's just Instagram at the Vanity Bear, or you can just email me, thevanitybear@gmail.com. And I'm really good about getting back to you either through the DMs there or through email. My DM inbox does get a little crazy sometimes,
because it goes down in the DM.
Yeah. So, if it's something like, if you have a lot of questions or anything, just shoot me an email. I'll get back to you. My life has gotten a little bit busy right now, but I always try to make it a point to get back to everybody.
Cool deal. All right, Kyle. Like I said, again, we want to thank you for being on the show. Transformation, Motivation. This is episode number 2, and more to come. If you guys have any questions, recommendations, suggestions, whatever, I'm always taking the questions. And if you got anything that you want to, pass on to any of the guests that have been on the show, email me. I'm Fit Emmett. FitEmmett@gmail.com. FITEMMETT@gmail.com. Everybody, peace.